Get ready for a good time, you guys, because this skirt is just as much fun to wear as it is to make. Let's hop in my sewing room and I'll show you how to do it. So to make this skirt, all you really need is a layer cake and some elastic. I'm using 1.5 inch wide elastic. That's what I used on this skirt I'm wearing already. I think it would be cute with 2 inch or 3 inch too, but we're using 1.5 today. I'm actually making this skirt for my sister because I was so happy with how mine turned out, right? And she doesn't sew. She's really good at watercolor, but she doesn't sew. So anyway, she's going to love it. Okay, so you got your layer cake opened up and you want to put it into a 6 across by 6 down layout. You're going to need 36 total 10-inch squares. I do think that you could cut your own squares from scraps or fat quarters. It would work just fine. But layer cakes are easy, ready to go. You know it's all going to look good and scrappy together. I like layer cakes. Anyway, a 6 by 6 layout, 36 10-inch squares you need, and your patchwork square should be about 57 by 57 if you're going for your own fabrics. So sew that up, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, I got my top all together, as you can see, and I think I should have told you this in the layout part. When you're putting your squares in your layout, you want to orient them going out from the center, like your directional prints. Like these little bears are pointing towards me right now, which looks upside down, but it really won't be because you're going to cut a circle out of the middle, sort of like this. And now the bears are right side up, see? And the skirt will be kind of like so. Your waist is going to go here. So I feel like I should have said that in the layout. So hopefully that's okay. Either way, turn your squares all around. It's going to work out. You've got your patchwork square. The next step, you want to fold this square into 4s. So fold them in half. Fold them in half. And then we're going to fold them in half one more time, just like that. Fold them in half again. Right? It should look like 9 squares on each side. Okay? I'm going to take this over to the cutting mat, and I'll tell you how to cut our little circle for our waist. Okay. All right, you got your skirt folded into 4s. This is a folded edge and the folded edge here. I made sure these seams are matched up nicely so it's folded good and straight. You got to figure out now what this waist measurement circle is to cut out. So the only measurement you need to take is right now. You have to measure your waist, and my sister's waist is 33 inches. So you're going to take your waist measurement number, add 2 inches to it so we can make sure it stretches good to go over our butt and everything when we pull it up. So that becomes 33 plus 2, 35 inches. Then we divide that by 6.28, and that gives me 5.57 for my sister's measurement. You want to round up to the nearest 1/4 inch, so I'm going with 5.75. Okay? You got your number. Mine is 5.75. So that means I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm just going to make a bunch of little dots from the corner, 5 3/4. Out. Right? Do it. One little dot. 5 3/4. Keep going till you reach the other side so we can have a line to cut. Okay, there's your line you drew. Let's cut it out. Just use scissors and cut directly on your line. Trying to hold them together good. Boom. Right? And see, we've just cut out a circle. The next thing you need to cut and get ready is your waist elastic. This is the one I'm using, 1.5 inch wide. And you want to do that same number, your waist plus 2 inches. So again, my sister's was 33, and then I'm going to add 2, so I need to cut 35 inches of elastic for her. Right? I needed 35 inches for her waist elastic, so I'm using the lines on my cutting mat to help me out. And I'm just going to use the scissors and chop right there. That's extra. And there we go. Now we can go to the sewing machine. So you cut your waist elastic. Now you need to sew it together. So you're going to hold the 2 ends nice and straight, and we're going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance here. Whoops. Okay. I know we're used to doing a quarter, but we need a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Go straight on down. Then you take it, open it up, and sew down either side. Top stitch either side down. Other side. And there you have it. Looks just like that. All right. Now we got to add our elastic to our skirt. And to make it easier to line up, you want to fold this in half, like with your seam sort of in the middle over here. And we're going to mark the opposite side with a pin, like right where that seam lines up. Marked. And then do the same with these ends that you have folded. Mark them with a pin. And this side. Okay. Now we know the 4 points. Open up your skirt. And see, you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 points here. You're going to match the pins with those same points. So I'm going to start with the back. You want them right sides together. Match up the seam of your elastic with that seam right there and pin it on. Then go to the next pin and seam and match them up. And I'm going to pinch them together. Okay, next seam with the pin, line up. And then the last pin on the back here, or the front rather. So you want to go around and keep adding more pins after you've matched up those 4 points. And just ease in the fabric as best you can. I just kind of pinch in the middle and then pinch in the middle again. Give it a pin. Take your time, get it all pinned, and I'll meet you at the sewing machine. Time to add our elastic waistband to our skirt. I like to start at the back seam here, and we're going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Let me go and get this clip out the way. And let me get started first. I'm going to go a few stitches, back stitches, and then the biggest trick, when you go to sew, you want to stretch the elastic as you go. So give it a good tug, go. And just keep going. Make sure you're only sewing this one side. Tug, and sew. Take it slow. Tug, and sew. I like to make sure my needle goes down every time I stop sewing too, so nothing really shifts around, because I'm tugging pretty hard. I'm gonna get that clip out of here. I'm pinching both pieces, the skirt fabric and the elastic, and I'm tugging. Sewing. Pull it down around. Right, I took this clip off, and you can see how it doesn't look like it's gonna match, but we're gonna tug on both pieces, and it kind of lines up much easier. So, right, tug, so. I'm approaching the end here, and again, tug and sew, just like I've been doing the whole time. And when I get to this end, I'm gonna back stitch right over the join and pull it out. Right? I kind of want to show you. It's not like a beautiful looking seam. I don't know if you can tell, right? But you're not going to see it in the end, because this is going to flip up, and whoop, before we flip it, we need to do one more stitch around the whole thing. I got to turn this machine back on. And this time, starting at the back again, you're just going to do like 1/8 of an inch seam. We did a 1/4 inch before. We're just going to stitch another line underneath there to try to catch all of this so it doesn't fray quite so bad when it gets washed, right? So here I go. I'm pulling, back stitching, And this one should be a little easier because you're already sewn one time. Right? Tug. So right along the edge, 1/8 of an inch seam. Do that all the way around, and then we're almost finished. So I have my 2 rows of stitching around this way. But now our final step is to top stitch around this very bottom hem. We're just going to go around with a little 1/4 inch seam, stitch all the way around, because we don't want these little where we have our squares sewn together to start coming apart, especially when you wash it. And we want to prevent like crazy fraying. It's kind of like when you cut off jeans into shorts, and when you wash them you get some long threads here and there that you got to trim away. The skirt will be a little bit like that, but it's gonna be great. Final step, here we go. I do a tiny back stitch and then 1/4 inch seam allowance around the entire bottom hem, and we are done. Final reveal coming up next. Get ready for a fashion show. My sister is gonna love it. Here's my original skirt I made, and I love it too. I think this looks great for a fall day. How cute, right? The third and final fit might be my favorite. Perfect for like winter time. It would look good with like an oversized sweater, right? I really do love this skirt, you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial as much as I enjoyed making it. I think my sister's going to love her skirt. You should try and follow her on Instagram because she's really good at watercolor. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye.